G'day guys, Tom here with MYT Solar. Something pretty epic to show you here today. That's a bit of a clue, a bit of a giveaway. If you know our channel, you know we love using Victron batteries in all our solar builds. This time today we did something a little differently and I'm excited to show you around. So if you've seen our installs on a 19 MKS, you'll probably recognize that we use this space here. It's just a great space to put everything. We typically use the Victron 24 volt batteries and those fit in here nicely. What we've got in here, however, just today is we've got the Multiplus 3000 inverter charger. We've got a little solar charger here for some external solar panels. We've got a bigger solar charger here for the panels on the roof. The 24 volt step down. So that should be a clue. We are using indeed 24 volt batteries. Typically we've got, like I said, two Victron 200 amp hour 24 volt batteries in here. Well, this customer decided to go with something different and we're excited to use a new product. This may be one of the most boring shots on our YouTube channel and you'll have to trust me, but behind this box that we built in here is that new product that I was talking about. A couple of really nice, beautiful big batteries. Let's head inside and take a look at those. So here they are. These are the Elite series from Epoch Batteries, and these are the version 2. There was a version 1, obviously. Some big improvements for the version 2, mostly with the software involved in them. So one of the great things about these batteries, this is a 24 volt battery, 230 amp hours. So compared to that Victron battery, you're getting an extra 30 amp hours at 24 volts in one of the batteries. Two batteries, 120 really extra amp hours if you can think about it as 12 volts versus using the two Victrons. So that's a nice 15% or so increase in capacity. So you can see here the different size with that 24 volt 200 amp hour Victron battery, and again there's 30 extra amp hours in this battery. Obviously a completely different shape battery and everything, and that's why we had to put these in the pass-through for this build, but still a nice, pretty small form factor. One of the great things about these batteries, which seems simple, but these straps are awesome. The thing I love about these batteries, when you look at the shell of the batteries, I'm not going to open the battery up, you can go and look at some Will Prowse videos for that, but one of the things about this battery is the shell of it. It's just, there's a lot of thought in the design, just the way the straps kind of hook in, where the terminals are, the sealed terminals that we have here. You know, there was something very little, but we had to adjust these dip switches here on the install. So you take these 4 screws off and this little, acrylic plate comes off. Even this acrylic plate above the dip switches has a little weatherproof band around it. And it even has a little tab there to help you lift the plate up. Just a lot of thought in the design. Right here actually is a switch to turn the battery on. So one of the great things for us when we're cabling, before we've got our fuse protection in, there is some times, whether we like it or not, where we have a live wire. We've done a little bit of welding in the past, which we prefer not to do. Being able to have the batteries actually turned off and having no power on these studs while we're waiting for that is awesome. So, a little breather hole here to let out some condensation. As I said, I'm not going to open the batteries, but inside these Epoch Elite batteries are actually a Class T fuse inside the battery. So a very fast fuse, a very safe fuse for lithium batteries. On the sides, we've got CAN bus communication ports. So this is where it will be able to actually talk to the servo and send data of the battery to the chargers and everything that's connected to the servo, the Multiplus, the MPTs, all that kind of stuff. There's a, one here that will go directly to the servo and then one here that will daisy chain to however many other batteries we include. On the front here, there's an option for a remote on and off switch. So obviously here is a switch. There's even a little port here where we could have a switch, on an extension cord, a cable, long cable 20 feet away and turn the batteries on from inside, say, if we wanted to do that. Everything else, just great options, with the kit. I guess one thing maybe I wasn't wild about in the kit was just kind of how complicated the cables were. It's just that one cable is for everything. There's one cable that ties into the battery that's going to speak to a little remote monitor with a little screen on it, which is pretty sweet. And this actually has the Bluetooth in it. So we made sure in our install that this was going to be somewhere close where the Bluetooth could be picked up for the Epoch app. They have their own app that shows the individual cell voltages, cell temperatures, that kind of stuff. Also the monitor, which ties into this harness. On this harness, there's some other things. There's just a little bit too much in this, and we ended up having to kind of bury this behind the batteries. But it's functional. That's that built-in function is really what we need. The other thing that I really liked about the batteries is the mounting points on the side. So with those mounting points on the side, we've got this great, you know, heavy duty mounting strap, solid as heck. They gave us plenty of bolts and things to connect those with. So these batteries also have the internal heaters. Not that I think that really heaters are that necessary, but the fact that they just come with it and are internal and built in, there's no little, you know, on and off remote trigger ports like some of the Battleborns might have. Just some more built-in function. Just a great battery all around, and we were excited to use it. Let's head back inside the rig. So as nice as those batteries are and all those great features that we talked about, unfortunately, they're just a little too bulky to fit in the dinette with all the rest of that equipment. So we threw them in here in the pass-through. Customer was totally happy with that. We thought about potentially running them each way. We settled on kind of blocking the pass-through out in the middle. What's nice is with this box, extremely sturdy. You know, it's very solid. It's rather attractive. It's protecting all the battery terminals. It's easy to take apart, just three or four screws, and you can pull that cap up if they need to get to the battery. We talked about those on and off switches for the batteries that are on the batteries themselves. Those are still accessible at the front of the battery, so that part was taken care of. I think that this is a great option, and again, these are 230 amp hour 24 volt batteries, so extra capacity over the Victron, just unfortunately less capacity in the pass-through. Hello! So you can see that it still is technically a pass-through, and this is a solid box, so if a customer wanted to throw a ladder or camp chairs or something a little longer, they still have that opportunity, which is kind of makes this not as bad as you thought. You can see my cables there coming through the wall, so that comes into that dinette on the other side where I showed you. So pretty solid, pretty minimal space taken up, but again, a lot of cost savings with using these batteries. So again, with these Epochs having that internal shunt or battery monitor, if you will, there really isn't a need for the Victron Smart Shunt. We still put it in because we just trust the Victron Smart Shunt a little bit more. You know, for various reasons, the battery monitor in the Epoch could just be off a little bit. There was some talk about that online, about that not being a perfect representation, and pretty much any battery that has ever had an internal BMS with Bluetooth that gives us a battery recording, a battery state of charge, we have always used that Victron Smart Shunt. Now I know that the Epoch, I trust that a little bit more, and the fact that it's tied into the servo gives me a little bit more trust in it, but the Smart Shunt worked flawlessly in almost every single person's install across the world who has lithium batteries, so we threw that in here, of course. As you can see on the screen here, you know, we've got all our normal stuff in our menu. We've got our Ruvi tag here that's telling us the temperature of the bay, and I'm not sure if you can hear those fans, but we've got those relay activated fans moving air through the bay. And so here is the Epoch batteries, and already you can see they're at 99%, and down here is the Smart Shunt, and it's showing 100%. This one's showing about 4.6 amps coming out, and this is showing about 4.8. So there is variances, and of course even some voltage drop from where the batteries are getting their voltage. The battery monitor in the batteries is getting their voltage to the Smart Shunt. So there's always going to be some little variances. We've actually got it set up so that the battery number over here, this 99, is the Epoch battery monitor. We could have changed that to the Smart Shunt, but I want to just roll with the Epoch and see how they go for this customer, and it's close enough. I think like in a big charge, bringing them all the way down and bringing them all the way back, that variance will probably only be 1% or 2%. And really, state of charge is never perfect. It's just our best indicator of where the batteries are. Other thing about the Epoch batteries, which is nice, is when you click into them, you can instantly go in and see, if we see here, we can see what the Epoch batteries calling for, and they're actually calling for 28.4 volts right now. That's the voltage that they're asking for in this particular charge cycle. So the batteries are dictating what anything that's connected to the servo is giving them. And so that's kind of the advantage of this kind of closed loop battery to the servo sort of setup, is it's not just blah, I'm charging, no matter what you need. Blah. There's kind of a communication loop in that way, that the batteries don't just get blasted all the time and get what they need when they need it. The other thing is you can come in here and you get some details. You can get some details about the battery. You can get some information about the cell voltages, how many batteries are there. There's just a lot of information of the battery that you can get, the temperature of the batteries, all sorts of stuff that you can get, information about the batteries on the servo, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think this customer is going to be very happy with these Epochs. I hope that these Epochs continue continue to be updated. I know they've gone through a few revisions. There were some firmware issues. There was a version 1 and now a version 2. We're hoping that these kind of hold up and stand up, because I can tell that they're a very well made battery. As long as they continue to communicate with the Victron stuff effectively, you know, there's been a pretty steep learning curve this week, just making sure that things are programmed correctly and finding out the quirks of the batteries and things like that. But I think this customer is going to be very happy. They are essentially a bit of a guinea pig for MYT Solar, but I think they're going to be super happy. And honestly, if I wasn't so big team Victron and I couldn't get the batteries a little cheaper than my customers, I'd probably be putting the epochs in my rig. It's pretty warm today, so we're not going to climb up on the roof and bore you with another roof shot. But this is our 1500 watts of solar on our premium rail system. Nice walking space around the roof. Ellie will probably insert a video of another 19 MKS that you can see that layout. So 1500 watts on the roof for this rig. We also built the external solar port so they can have an external panel charging those batteries at the same time. You know, the roof is limited, so having that external port was huge. The other thing we did is we ran 24 volts directly to their old solar charge controller and ran to the Starlink mini jack, so they'll be able to just plug their Starlink mini directly into this and run it directly off 24 volt, which is going to be more efficient and just easy. You can check out our other video we did on the Starlink Mini and what this sort of involved, a little bit more of an expanded version. So check that out. So other than that, thanks for watching. I would really like to know if anyone is using the Epoch batteries, whether it's the Elite or the Essentials. Give me some feedback on those. I know they're a bit of a buzz battery at the moment, but I'd like to know if they're holding up long term. You know, that's kind of the thing with us, is we don't like to put in anything that we haven't used long term. This is a bit of an experiment. I'm hoping it goes well. I kind of trust the batteries, but let me know. Are you using them? Let me know. Have you heard of anyone using them successfully? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much. Cheers for watching.